Hey y'all, it's your girl Claudia Jordan, and we are back with TGIF. We're here to spill the tea and break down the biggest headlines in the news and on social media. So sit back, relax, and get ready for this hot tea. Please welcome Al Reynolds and our special guest co-host for the week, Emmy award-winning media personality and artist, T.S. Madison. What's up, y'all? Both y'all, what's going on?
I'm sad and happy at the same time. I'm happy that it's Friday, but I'm sad because T.S. Madison leaves today.
Oh, we don't know that. I might be back on Monday. Who knows? You gotta watch.
You never know.
Also,
Claudia, you look so pretty. I like this blue on you, and I like that you got your ponytail snatched back, letting the girls know, honey, that face, that's a timeless beauty right there.
Thank you. You know, I feel my face is fat right now, but thank you so much. I'm eating like a college kid, and it's bringing back that freshman 15. I'm like, what is going on? We have pizza and Popeyes like all the time here.
where's Louisiana?
Oh, I like pizza and Popeyes, just like I like that black suit that Al got on over there.
Wasn't Popeyes founded in Louisiana?
I think so. I don't know, but I know it has a lot of calories.
Listen, speaking of calories, Al, don't you do that. Don't you try to cut me off. You know I'm over here liking that black suit you got on.
I told you, you're going to make me blush, T.S. Please stop.
I done called out both y'all's bluffs. Like, stop all the flirting and like the BS, and y'all got each other's phone numbers. I think get together, go on a date, and let the soulmates know what happened. Like, what are we waiting? Exactly, what are we waiting on?
We're gonna do it, Claudia. We're gonna
do it.
Just got to make sure I let him know before I get there. You know, it's something about a man in a black suit, honey, that I know he gonna lay me to rest.
All right, are y'all drinking tonight?
What's that?
I got a little Sutter Home, Al, in honor of you, because you know this is very rich white woman, so I got me some Sutter Home, honey. No.
I'm doing coffee so I can get my energy level up, Claudia, because I'll be drinking later on tonight. But coffee is what it is for the show.
I think tonight's my first night I can actually get out and just get out in the streets. So I think I'm gonna sneak out. There's tons of casinos out here in New Orleans. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and do that and get away from the house. I just need a break. So Maddie?
Don't do it. Don't get out there in that casino. Don't do it, Claudia. You know you're going to either win a whole bunch or you may lose a whole bunch. And it all depends on the type of voodoo that's in the air over your coins out there, baby.
Well, she got 2 checks, though. She got 2 checks.
And today was the direct deposit day. So I'm like, you know what? I got a little hole in my pocket right now. Just do a little bit. Not a lot, though. Not a lot. All right. We have a lot to talk about, and the faster we get through this, the faster y'all can start your weekend, and the soulmate's been waiting for us. So let's get into it. Donald Trump is out here being held accountable finally. He has been ordered to pay more than $350 million in damages for committing business fraud in New York City. Now, Trump is also barred from conducting any business in New York City for 3 years. What are your thoughts on this outcome, Al? What do you think?
I don't think it's enough, Claudia. Letitia James, Counselor Letitia James, though, you got the job done, beautiful, and thank you for it. Although that, they fined him, it is civil, so we got to be very clear. And it was issued by the New York Supreme Court, so hopefully this one will stick and he doesn't appeal. But my whole thing is, why does a president this is financial fraud. Why is he still allowed, after committing financial fraud, not going to prison of some sorts? Why is it that his financial advisor, his accountant, Alan Weisselberg, though, is going to jail? I don't understand that. Why does this man constantly escape jail time for his fraudulent and illegal activity? Now, his defense argued that no one was victimized. What in the world is going on in America when you commit bank fraud, financial fraud, and you say no one was victimized? I'm confused by all of this, but at least we are piling on these charges. Do you know he now has over $440 million worth of multiple civil fraud cases against him that he has been found guilty of? He owes people $440 million, but we still can't get him in jail.
His defense will say, well, nobody was hurt. We paid the loans back, but you lied. Like, you do things that no one can get away with. They tried to value Mar-a-Lago. They're claiming like they're undervaluing their properties. he tried to value Mar-a-Lago as a $16 million property. It's such a huge property. And he tried to really say that it was worth $16 million. Get the F out of here, Trump. Maddie, what do you think about this? $353 million? Do you think he'll ever pay it, any of it?
No, and he's never going to pay it, and he's never going to have to pay it. And unfortunately, I really do hate to say this, even though I am going to go out and I am going to vote, and I am going to vote, and I am going to vote, he potentially could be reelected.
That's right.
And it's sad that this is the America that we live in right now, where he gets to get away with all of these things and then hold the highest office in our land, and a black man couldn't flip a quarter 2 times. But
let's just highlight this, Claudia. The woman of sexual assault, she got what, 100 million? What she get? She got some stupid amount, 10, 15, 20 million, something like that. He's got accused of this, 350 million. Like, he has multiple civil trials that he has lost, and we still can't get this man put in prison, or we still can't get this man disqualified as a potential candidate of president of the United States.
It's unbelievable, but you know what? Why would we start now? When he was a candidate, he refused to give his taxes up. We knew there was a red flag there. First presidential candidate, I think, to do that in like forever. He's never really been held accountable. Yeah, he's getting these civil lawsuits, and he'll find a way around it. You know how many people have tried to sue him? You know how many people he owes money to? You know how many people he drove them out of business by not paying bills? This is what he does. It's so funny that, people thought Barack Obama would make the White House so ghetto, the office of and it is this white man, Donald Trump, that is making it extremely ghetto. And ghetto is not a black thing. It's a mentality. And that's what he is. He runs up tabs, skips it on the bill, doesn't pay his lawsuits, has sex with girls with no rubber while his wife is pregnant. He does all kinds of ratchet stuff, and he never gets called exactly what he is. Matter of fact, the evangelists are so insanely just delusional. They think this is a man of God.
Right.
A man of God. Oh, all right. You can't even get mad anymore. You just got to just sit back and laugh because it's so ridiculous. Kelly Rowland, it is. It's unbelievable, right? All right. Kelly Rowland was set to guest co-host the Today Show, but reportedly Kelly walked off the set due to her not having an adequate dressing room. Now, the room that she requested was allegedly being occupied by Jennifer Lopez. Now, Kelly's departure left Hoda Kotb scrambling last minute to find a replacement host. Kelly was the guest host. Did they try to play in our girl's face and really give her the teeny weeny tiny dressing room? What do y'all think about this? Maddie, what do you think?
I do think that they tried to play in her face. What is this? Good Morning America?
The Today Show.
Oh, the Today Show? Yes, I do think they tried to play in her face. It's J-Lo. Of course they're going to think that J-Lo is a bigger star than Kelly Rowland. And of course that they're going to, even though she is a huge star, but of course they're going to play in the black girl's face. Of course they're going to sit you to the side and say, all right, girl, well, it's J-Lo. Or they're going to act like they didn't know that. I didn't know. Are you serious? Wait, hold on. No, let's talk about it. Kelly, you did right. Hightailing yourself up out of there, honey.
Al, what do you think?
I don't know, Madison. I don't know. This one I didn't like. Now, listen, she's a guest host. She appeared on the show earlier that morning. They said, hey, you did such a good job. We would like for you to come back and guest host for an hour, meaning you get to promote your movie, Tyler Perry's movie, Maya Copa, for an entire hour on one of the largest platforms when it comes to promoting your movies. I think for me, the more I sell my movies, the more money that movie make, the more money I'm going to make in the end. I just would not have given it up. I would have taken that smaller dressing room and I would have hosted for the next hour. And because they gave me a smaller dressing room, I would have tried to negotiate to come back again. So that's just me, though. I take lemons and I make it lemonade. In this case, first of all, it just doesn't sound like Kelly Rowland. So I'm hoping that there's a part of the story that we're not completely getting, because for Kelly to do something like this kind of is against everything that we know her for being. She's one of the most professional, on time, hardest working, and we all know always performs at the top of the charts in whatever she does. So this is very alarming for me. And I'm sure Tyler Perry, especially when it comes to promoting movies, it's very important that you sit in those seats and talk up your movie. I'm pretty sure if it was just over a dressing room, there might be some choice words for her.
Maybe it was how they spoke to her, but it has to be more than that. Because
Right, I
I
agree.
think I personally think this is a bad move to walk off the Today Show as a guest co-host. That is a humongous platform, and you want to be able to go back there again and again and again in the future to promote all your projects. So I think there has to be more to this as well, because unless like she had a lot of other stuff going on, and this was like the straw that broke the camel's back, I can't see Kelly
Right.
doing it.
I don't
That's-
either. It's just not her character. It's not her character.
And it's highly unprofessional to leave somebody hanging the day of, like right before you're supposed to co-host,
Right.
and you just leave, like you don't know what's going to happen. So well, let's stay tuned on this one. Put a pin on this one, because I think more could come up out of this story. Empire TV said Kelly has never been seen as a problematic person, so they're definitely trying to play her enough for her to walk out like this. We don't even know. We don't even know what was said and done in the background, and that is true. As we are learning here in my situation here at College Hill, framing the narrative. Black women are difficult. They just walked off the set. She was unprofessional. Framing. We got to know all the details. Here for fun said Monique and Taraji been saying this. We got to start standing up for ourselves. They'll keep doing it.
Yep.
All right. All right. Okay. Well, a controversial bill has been passed in Idaho that will give them give the death penalty for individuals convicted of certain sex crimes against preteen children 11 and younger. Are you in support of this bill? And you think more states should follow suit, Al?
This is a tough one, Claudia, because of course we all know that this bill is unconstitutional. And Idaho House of Representatives have passed it anyway. But sometimes in this particular case, I think given the severity, depends on the severity, under 12 years old, I think everybody should be put underneath the jail, never allowed to come back out. You should not be allowed to abuse, sexually abuse, or do anything horrible to a young child of that age. But this is unconstitutional. It's going to be a hard bill to get passed. But sometimes Idaho gets it right and sometimes they get it wrong, because in the state of Idaho, even though they may pass this bill, they do have another law in Idaho that if you are a sex offender after 10 years with good behavior, you can have your name removed.
All right.
That don't make no type of sense to me. So let's see what Idaho is going to do. If they do it right, maybe other states can incorporate this, as long as we can find the constitutionality about it.
Maddie?
So what does the bill actually say? What does it impose?
So it depends on the severity of the particular assault. A sexual assault depends on whether or not they get the death penalty.
Well, I do feel like that anybody.
Oh, and they have to be under the age of 12, Madison. Sorry.
I feel like that anybody that's doing any sex crimes against children needs the death penalty.
I'd like to go on a ledge and say kids and adults, because we have a lot of damaged people around here that are just continuing to hurt other people because they never got justice. And I just think it's a serious, serious crime that does not get taken seriously in America. It's like we just like, oh, that happened. Okay, big deal. No, it's all good. And these kids, they continue that cycle. Sometimes they become abusers. I think it's horrible. We have comments. Jermaine Haynes said, no, sometimes kids lie and sometimes parents force them to lie, i.e. Michael Jackson. And can we just love each other? Said this will deter more criminals from acting out on that evil inside of them that wants to hurt children. It is tricky. I always think about worst case scenario, like, hell yeah, the people that we have evidence about, but we know for sure.
Repeat offenders, maybe.
Yes, but when you have people that are lying, like, oh, I don't like my baby daddy, so I'm going to tell my little girl, put some ideas in her head. That's when it gets tricky, because once you kill him, there's no coming back from that.
Right.
All right. Coming up next, we are breaking down Al's outrage, and later, Drake and Sexy Red turn heads. We'll be right back.
How you been liking it, Dustin?
I love it here. I love sparring with you. I love talking trash with Claudia.
TGIF.
What y'all drinking on?
Buttery Chardonnay, my go-to when it comes to spilling this tea.
1942, baby. It's been a celebration all week.
Every weekday.
Yeah.
Are you gonna have any left?
How about a big bottle, Al?
How big is it? All right, let's not be sexually harassing our co-host this early in the show. Not saying we won't, it just won't be this early.
On Fox Soul.
When I got the opportunity to get her, there wasn't no choice. I told myself, I'm gonna take custody of my daughter. It's my baby. That's what we're supposed to do as men. Take care of our home, build a foundation, you know what I'm saying? Love, our money, she's my purpose. I'm here to walk with her, hold her hand until she can walk alone. Ain't nothing like being a father in this world.
My mother was always very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual, and she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn, and she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me, Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you, and we'll figure it out.
Welcome back to TGIF. Soulmates, our very own brand strategist, Al Reynolds, is passionate about covering stories that are placed in the archives of media, and that's why tonight, Mr. Reynolds will be giving us his unfiltered opinion in a segment we like to call, Where's the Outrage? Tonight's outrage is straight out of Florida. Now, it's been reported that a Florida police officer has resigned after he mistook a falling acorn for gunshots and fired multiple rounds at an unarmed suspect who was seated inside a police car in handcuffs. If you haven't seen this video, it's horrible how they did this. The officer will not face criminal charges, but decided to step away from the force on his own. Thankfully, no one was harmed. Al, take it away.
You know me, everybody. Where is the outrage? Now, let me tell you why I'm the most outraged about this particular story right here. This happened to a young black man that they thought had stolen his girlfriend's car. So because they couldn't prove it, they handcuffed him and put him in the back of the patrol officer's car while they went to ask the girlfriend information. Now, this is where the outrage sets in for me, all right? He ended up walking back to his car while his sergeant went to go question the girlfriend. In his walk back to the car, an acorn hits the roof of his car. He thinks that it is firing, a gun is being fired. So he unleashes a round, which we know rounds range between 12 and 17 shots, in the back of the police car, where the innocent man who had not been charged or arrested for any type of crime, a young black man, was sitting in the back seat. Now, this is where it gets really ugly. Not only did he fire at the car, but the female sergeant who was walking to the girlfriend to question her, also unleashed fire shots into the car as well, following the lead of the other officer. If that police car was a regular car, we cannot be certain that that young, innocent black man would not have been killed. Now, this is my real question. Do you remember the guy in Vegas, the black guy in Vegas who jumped over the bench at that judge? He was charged in a litany of charges, charged with attempted murder. Why aren't these officers charged with attempted murder? Is question number one. Where is the outrage? Number two, he is allowed to resign, meaning he's allowed to keep his pension And hear this. I called that particular police station. I asked the police station, if an officer resigns, can they reapply? And they absolutely can. This officer can go away for a little while, reapply, have his pension, get his job back, and go back to work as usual. That is outrageous to me, and it should not be allowed. Instances like this where you are this irresponsible and reckless, you should not be able to practice any type of business in public safety ever again. Everybody in earshot of my voice should send an email to that police department and make sure that he's never allowed to work there again. For me, where is the outrage?
All right, thanks for that. Madison, what are your thoughts?
Now, you know damn well don't no acorn sound like no gunshot. Damn well, this was something they were already on the edge, and this is why I feel like that they should be they shouldn't get their pension. They should be stripped of their badges, honey, and all police officers should be evaluated on how they feel about race, creed, sexuality, sexual orientation, and they should be grilled heavy about that and not put in certain neighborhoods so that this stuff can not happen.
Once again, that personality test, they got to start doing that because it just keeps on happening. It seems like they look at certain people as threats, and others can be naked swinging machetes at them and shooting up schools and get somehow no one fires shots at them. All right, very good. Moving on, switching gears. Due to our busy schedules, it's super convenient for us to order Uber Eats, Postmates, Grubhub, you name it, we order it. But you may want to reconsider after watching this clip of a delivery driver breaking down how he normally eats a customer's food. Oh, gross. I'm nervous about this one. Let's take a look.
All you do is peel this back a little bit, and then Five Guys, they put in extra fries over here for the delivery driver. So you just...
Oh, the thought of somebody messing with my food. Maddie, I see that face. I have to go to you first. What you thinking?
The same evaluations that they need for police officers that they need for Uber Eats drivers and Uber. Here's the thing: we've gotten too complacent with the way COVID made us, order our food. Like the COVID pandemic just had us real lazy, and it got us order food. I want to go now, like after seeing so many videos like this, and just go out and start shopping for my own food. I am over it. I have seen people taking a dump in the bathroom with the food on the floor. I have seen people sneezing and coughing all over the food. I'm like, damn, I might as well go get my own shit, you know?
Yeah.
I am over it.
Al, what say you?
You know what? The U.S. Food Company or Research Institute did a survey, and they said 1 out of 4 food delivery people eat our food. They eat some portion of our food, and fries being the #1 food that they sneak out of our bags. So that's 30% of drivers. So to me, I'm like, okay, they need to put more stickers. They need to figure out a better way to seal the orders so that drivers can't sneak their little hands down in our food.
This is so gross. Empire TV said, I know they didn't put them dusty, dirty ass fingers in that bag. Nasty. James Walker said, this is why I cook. You lazy people deserve this. And Girl Healthy to 1K said, stop. My food is on the way to me now. So, I mean, think about it. With Uber and also Uber Eats, these are just regular people, guys, that just want to make some extra money. We don't know who, like, they're not really screen. They're just people that have a car and some time. So when you think
that one Uber driver shared that if you don't tip them, if you don't do the pre-tip on their order, they said they automatically go in on your food.
Oh my God. Did you see that man's hands?
I did.
It looked like he been digging in his nose, his ass. And my God. Oh.
All right, moving on. Okay, coming up, Drake and Sexy Red turn heads, and later Malaysia Pargo sounds off on her ex. It's a beautiful girl. Let's get to the story when we come right back. We'll be right back.
How you been liking it, Dustin?
I love it here. I love sparring with you. I love talking trash with Claudia.
TGIF.
What y'all drinking on?
Buttery Chardonnay, my go-to when it comes to spilling its tea.
1942, baby. It's been a celebration all week.
Every weekday.
Yeah. Are you going to have any left?
How about the big bottles, Al?
How big is it? All right, let's not be sexually harassing our co-host this early in the show. I'm not saying we won't. It's just going to be this early.
On Fox Soul.
When I got the opportunity to get her, there wasn't no choice. I told myself, I'm gonna take custody of my daughter. It's my baby. That's what we're supposed to do as men. Take care of our home, build a foundation, you know what I'm saying? Love, our money, she's my purpose. I'm here to walk with her, hold her hand until she can walk alone. Ain't nothing like being a father in this world.
My mother was always very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual, and she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn, and she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me, Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you, and we'll figure it out.
Welcome back to TGIF. Shout out to all the soulmates in the chat. We see y'all. All right, y'all, you know, here at TGIF, we definitely like to give you the hookup and give you some keys, some cheat codes for life that make things a lot easier. So here you go. Life doesn't happen bi-weekly, so why should your payday? The money you earn can be in your hands today with Earnin. Earnin is an app that gives you access to your pay as you work up to $100 per day or up to $750 per pay period. Just go ahead and download the Earnin app and verify your paycheck, then access up to $100 a day as you work and leave an optional tip. Any money you access plus tips are automatically repaid from your next paycheck. Now, listen, you can use Earnin if you want to, spend some money on a special night out. I mean, that's a way, like something comes up, you're like, you know what? Let me go ahead and get a little advance on my Earnin. Al, what do you think about Earnin and how have you used it?
I think it would be a great alternative, especially the ones that always get me are like car repairs that happen at the last minute that you end up needing money for right away. If I ever had that issue, I think Earnin would be the perfect example of when to access the money that I need and it getting paid back once I get paid.
Absolutely, because that is a last minute expense and unexpected that you just don't want to have, but Earnin is your answer. Make Earnin a part of your financial routine and join Earnin's over 3.5 million customers who say things like, when I think about Earnin, I think about financial stability, security, and gives me a lot of peace of mind. Download Earnin today, spelled EARNIN, in the Google Play or Apple App Store. When you download the Earnin app, please type in T under podcast when you sign up. It'll really help the show. That's TEA under podcast. Subject to your available earnings, location, daily max, and pay period. See earnin.com/TOS for details. Now, Earnin is a financial technology company, not a bank. Bank products are issued by Evolve Bank and Trust, member FDIC. All right, go ahead and get that Earnin. It'll help you out. You don't have to ask people for money because you got it yourself. All right. Right, Maddie? All right, let's get back to some more topics. The internet has had an ongoing joke for a while now about Drake being the father of Sexy Red's most recent baby. However, Drake has people thinking the joke may be for real after a video went viral of him laid up with Sexy Red, kissing her on her pregnant belly. Someone wrote, nah, kissing another bleep's baby mama's stomach is diabolical. Arrest this man. Do you think this was weird, Maddie?
Listen, we do anything for clout these days, and we do anything to sell records. And you know, the people love Sexy Red. The people love Sexy Red. The people love Drake. So they're probably doing it as a joking thing. But I mean, hey, I can't get pregnant, but I'll let Drake kiss my stomach anyway. Especially after that video, that little that slinky toy that he had going down the stairway, honey, laying back in the bed. A slinky.
Where you gonna put that, T.S. Madison?
Honey, I'll put it on my stomach, Al. You know where I'll put it.
That little slinky, you gonna put it on your
Put it on my stomach. A slinky.
Oh, Claudia, I'm going to agree with L. Stokes. Drake is so weird, dude. Drake is so weird, dude. I don't know. When I saw this, I just thought what Claudia says all the time. This is a race to the bottom. You know, if it's not his, this is not my type of entertainment. It's not my style of entertainment. It's not my style of, you know, creating a buzz around both of their projects. So I must say, because Drake is pushing almost 40, I'm gonna not talk on this one.
Drake, you've been moving real weird. First the nails, then the hair, then the jerry curl, then the pouty lips, then the kissing another woman, another man's baby that's in someone else's stomach and uterus that you did not impregnate. We know this ain't Drake's baby. Then again, he does get around, but Drake, this is not your child. Like, don't do this. If I was that child's father, I would be highly pissed off. I think it's kind of like disrespectful. I'm thinking about, okay, if I was pregnant and like close to dropping, you know, the baby's pretty developed, right? And another man's laying his head on my stomach and kissing my baby. That to me, that's like worth fighting over. I think I don't think that. What do y'all think about that? That's not cool.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Auntie Meemaw says Drake gonna catch something. She always looks dirty to me, like she just splashed water on herself. Damn. And Christine R said trolling is the new marketing. Tyrese, 50 Cent, Drake, and Desiree Smith said Drake kissed all that dirt and he's gonna catch ringworm. Oh my God, so many.
But wait a minute, y'all didn't have a problem with Usher rubbing his wing on the back of Keke Palmer or Alicia Keys. Y'all just called them entertainers. So maybe in this case, they're just being entertainers and he's kissing another man's baby.
That's on L. That's on stage. And you know you're full of it right now.
I tried it.
Here's my outrage, okay? That was a performance between two adults. This is a man kissing the belly of a woman that's pregnant with another man's child. So this is disrespectful. Listen, I know y'all think I don't cap for men. I am capping for men right now. That is disrespectful to the true father of that child.
Yeah.
Unless you want to give some child support to Sexy Red Drake.
Unless you want to give us
Keke Palmer did just have a baby when she got rubbed.
It was already out, Al.
Listen, he want to give her a slinky toy for that baby shower, honey. A slinky.
Cesara Amor says, I heard from a credible source they were definitely having sex, but I don't think it's baby. And comments, there's another comment that says, it isn't Drake's baby. He hides his kids.
Oh.
That's a soulmate. That is not from me or Al or T.S. Madison. That is from a soulmate.
Oh.
Okay.
Who he hiding the kids from, though?
Remember the first child? It wasn't until Pusha T kind of outed him about his kid. Remember, it was a whole thing. And then they said Pusha T forced Drake to be a father because he was definitely keeping it hidden because she's a porn star or former.
But remember, wasn't Drake also the entertainer that put hot sauce in his condom? Remember his used condom and the girl went in the bathroom and she tried to put the content of the condom inside her and it burned her. Wasn't that Drake?
I think it was.
Guys, remember that? You remember that, T.S. Madison?
I do.
Oh, correct.
He tied it up. He put hot sauce in it, tied it up, and threw it in the trash can.
Oh, he wearing rubbers now. Oh, okay.
Y'all like my hair?
I would like to see it.
Y'all are being messy. It's Friday.
Okay, they said to correct what I said. He wasn't, not claiming the child. He was hiding the child from the world, the evils of the world. Go ahead, Maddie.
Right. Yeah. I heard he hiring children in other places too, but that ain't my business.
You like my hair?
I do.
Thank you. I like yours too.
Thank you. But I'd like to see it.
What you want to see again?
The slinky.
I can't. We're gonna. Y'all was impressed with that.
No, I was. No, can I be honest? I was waiting on us to talk about. No, I was not impressed at all.
Me neither. I'm like, what's wrong with me? Because I'm not seeing it.
It was so flaccid and mushy, honey. It seems like he had a penile enlargement that went wrong.
Ooh.
Girl, y'all doing these backflips and cartwheels over Drake's old slinky toy child. Girl, go somewhere and sit down, honey. It gave very spaghetti noodle after being overcooked, overboiled. Yeah. I'm like, child.
Y'all better leave that light-skinned man alone now. Come on, y'all know he fine.
Like you said, Maddie, and I prefer my pasta a little hard. I'd like to call it al dente.
Al dente, baby.
Al dente. Keep it locked, because coming up next, Bow Wow talks about his addiction. And later, you won't guess what a professor is accused of. We'll be right back. Yes, al dente.
Mm-hmm.
My mother was always very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual. And she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn, and she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me, Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you, and we'll figure it out.
How you been liking it, Dustin?
I love it here. I love sparring with you. I love talking trash with Claudia.
TGIF.
What y'all drinking on?
Buttery Chardonnay, my go-to when it comes to spilling its tea.
1942, baby. It's been a celebration all week.
Every weekday.
Yeah.
Are you going to have any left?
How about a big bottle, Al?
How big is it? All right, let's not be sexually harassing our co-host this early in the show. Not saying we won't. It just won't be this early.
On Fox Soul.
This one's for the real ballers and shot callers, the sisterhood of women in tech. They're discovering cures, building apps, and programming the blockchain. They're CEOs, worldwide hustlers who can make it rain. They're tearing down the old boys club and seeing big gains. Because when women in tech come together, you know they make that change.
There was a time in my life where I was extremely homesick. I decided that I needed a pet. When I first saw a turtle, my heart was full. He jumped up and kissed me and jumped right into my arms. I immediately went up to the volunteers at the shelter and said, I want him. He's got to come home with me. Now I'm anything but lonely. Every day with turtle is a perfect day.
Welcome back to TGIF. Oh, Maddie, I was trying to find this little comment that they I feel like it was shade to us. It was I think her name is Tamla. She said, how big are these ladies' vaginas that they need 10 plus inches?
Well, honey, I don't have a vagina. I'm comparing it to mine.
Well, I have a vagina, and we didn't say anything about 10 inches. We just talked about it being soft. So don't judge. Don't do us.
Don't do me. Go out there and get you that limp noodle. We prefer al dente.
Right? Al dente.
Al, I want some dente when I see you.
All right, moving on. Last week, 2 Kentucky women shared their story of an alleged sexual assault that took place during their vacation in the Bahamas. According to the Bahamas Beach Resort, their surveillance video does not support their claims. They released a statement that says, upon further review of their surveillance videos, the allegations made on site and in subsequent social media posts and news stories conflict with what the timestamp surveillance videos contained. Now, 2 men have since been arrested, but their identities have not been made public. What are your thoughts? And do you think their story was fabricated? Al, I'm gonna go to you first, but real quick, the women say they blacked out after some drinks, and when they woke up in a bathroom, they were covered in bruises and had been sexually assaulted. Real quick, what do you think?
You know, Claudia, we're never supposed to say that they're lying, right? Especially someone who said they're sexually assaulted. We're supposed to always be with the victim. But I just smell a Jussie Smollett situation here. I don't know, something in my gut, listening to the story, reading the paperwork, the police reports, the footage that, you know, that they have and they're looking at just gives me a hoax, okay? I feel like they're crying wolf for some reason. The two gave me a Karen feeling. And I know for just deep down inside of me, I just feel like they're demonizing black men in the Bahamas, and I didn't like it. Now, I'm saying all that to say that if these two men, if they did it, they 110% should be arrested and serve the time for the crime.
Maddie?
Now, Al, you know damn well, you said it right earlier, it's giving a hoe. H-E-A-U-X, a hoe. It's actually giving two hoes that went down there to the Bahamas that's trying to get a free trip and somebody locked up. When it comes out that this false news, I want those hoes tied up by their toenails on it and drugged to the Bahamas, to the nearest Bahamas jail. And I want them to be see, I can't say it on this show, but I can say it on mine. I want them to be shackled for as long as their hair is down their back.
Do we know, was it a black man? Was a black man there?
We know it's black men.
Well, you know, the Bahamas, allegedly they worked around or something.
Have you looked at them women? Who wants that?
I'm gonna say this. I don't know what the end game of this is. I will speak on what I have mentioned before in the show. Once again, I do think that there should be some kind of legislation, and not just in America, where, okay, to take this seriously and to stop false stories from coming out. I'm not saying that there's this because I don't really know, but there should be some kind of consequences to making a false report when you know it's false, right, and you actually disrupt someone else's life. I think that's extremely damaging because an accusation is enough to really end a lot of opportunities for you and really disrupt your whole life. So, all right, moving on. Benzino is tired of y'all talking about his neck or alleged lack thereof. That's not me saying it. That's the people, Benzino. Now, during a recent interview on Drink Champs, Benzino said, I got a bleeping neck. Shannon Sharp don't got a neck. Shannon's neck is as big as me. What are your thoughts on Benzino defending his neck? I'm going to you first, Al, and then I know Maddie's going to have something to say on this. Al, what do you think about his neck?
I always thought that he had the Klippel-Field syndrome, where you got short neck, limited neck liability. That's what I always thought he had.
Like Big Ed? Like Big Ed on 90 Day Fiancé? Is that what you mean? You saying he like Big Ed? Is that what you're saying, Al? Is that you saying Benzino's like Big Ed?
Yeah, 1 out of 40,000 kids have this particular problem. So I just always thought he had that, honestly.
Now, Al, he's a rich, light-skinned black man. Do you think he's attractive?
Is he rich?
Well, he was at one point.
Oh, okay, let me see. Is he attractive? Yeah, I think he's pretty attractive for his age. And you know what, Benzino, I got to give it to him for his age. He keeps his body in good shape. I like the fact that he stays fit. So I give him a thumbs up.
He's definitely very cut up. Definitely. Maddie, what say you? You know what? I'm not going to look at the screen while you go ahead.
Listen, I don't know much about his neck, but I know he could damn sure get a Head and Shoulders commercial endorsement, honey. And that's all I got to say. Alexa, play My Neck, My Back by Kaya Ragland.
But wait a minute, don't you got to have good neck flexibility to do oral sex, women? Claudia?
Yeah, you have to be able to lay on your stomach and be able to lick that thing for like at least 20-some minutes. And you got to be able to do a little bit of that, a little bit of this, and a little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
All you got to do is swallow. You heard what TDJ said, swallowed.
But he ain't got no throat.
Oh, I think he got a throat.
Oh, ooh.
That's what the girl said. Ooh.
I meant a big, he's look how like he muscular. You know what? Me and Benzino are on good terms right now. I have nothing to do with this. I'm going to go to the chat. Christopher Live Love Live C said, you know what? I'm not. Al, can you read the comments?
Well, Vanessa said, is the attraction in the room with us right now, Al? Okay. Christopher Livesy said, that's Benzino trying to flirt with Shannon. That's all. Ooh, oh my. And then Increased Matter said, Benzino has swollen glands.
Baby, I told you that's what the girl said, honey.
Oh my God. You know what? It must suck though. It must suck because people been coming for his neck for a long time. They really been coming for his neck for a long time. Like he's probably so sick of the neck jokes, right? Should
like literally and figuratively.
No, I didn't mean it. I'm moving on. I want to get through this week. I'm moving on. Rapper and actor Bow Wow recently opened up about his addiction to lean. Take a look.
I'm sitting in the hospital, not knowing what's going on, and when I get back home, it gets worse. What happened was I didn't know that I was having withdrawals. That's how much lean we was consuming.
All right. Why do you think so many people in the industry struggle with drug addiction? Maddie, what do you think?
Well, I do think that because he was a child star, he had to grow up in front of us. And, you know, people turn inward when they're having, trying to get their life together. So they turn inward and they turn to alcohol and lean. And like all those grown men and those grown rappers and stuff was around him, you know, he probably got introduced to lean at a certain age. I was wondering why he had swole up like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, swole up all around the neck and the hands and stuff like that. I say, see, drinking something, he retaining something.
Well, you know, that's a side effect of lean if you do too much lean. And that's also a side effect of the withdrawal from lean is the weight gain. So I definitely thought the same thing. But you know what? We have to commend someone like Bow Wow because he is a child star. We have to commend him for his honesty and being forthright and using this as a teachable moment to let other people know that, look, lean may be a short-term fix for a long-term problem, but it's just not worth it.
And I gotta say, you know, Bow Wow, much like the story prior, Benzino, he's been getting picked on a lot ever since he was little. Like he's had a hard time with people taking him seriously. So I can see why he would turn to numbing the pain with lean. All right, we wish him well. Let's check out this Black History Moment sponsored by Nissan.
Fox Soul celebrates Black history makers who have broken barriers and created change. Creating a place for cultural diversity in outer space is 46-year-old Keisha Shahaf and her 19-year-old daughter, Anastasia Mayers. The mother-daughter duo made history by becoming the first African-Caribbean mother-daughter team to travel to outer space. Keisha and Anastasia entered a contest and won their historical trip to the stars. On August 10th, 2023, the mother and daughter duo journeyed into space with other passengers on the Galactic 02 spacecraft. Keisha and Anastasia are continuing the mission to represent people of color in space. In the history of space travel, there have only been 73 women and 18 African Americans who have traveled to outer space. Anastasia is following in the footsteps of Dr. Mae Jemison, the first African-American woman to travel in space, and Jessica Watkins, the first Black woman on the space station crew in 2022. Anastasia is the youngest person to journey into outer space, and she has dreams of becoming an astrobiologist in the future. As the first Black mother-daughter duo in space, Keisha and Anastasia are leading the way for every person of color to one day visit the stars.
Honoring Black History Month on TGIF, proudly presented by Nissan. Experience a whole new thrill of driving.
What a fantastic experience for a Black mother and daughter to have that experience together and travel into space and to have that experience and to come back to Earth and talk about it. That is a big deal. I love that moment. Al, what do you think about this?
Man, I love this. And thank you, Nissan. And thank you for also highlighting Dr. Jemison as well as Jessica Watkins, because it's those Black women that motivate young Black girls just like this young lady. Your profiling this will motivate millions. Thank you so much, Nissan.
Maddie?
Is there nothing that a Black woman can't do, baby? Listen, and I am so happy that Nissan, one of my favorite cars, one of my favorite car creators, is highlighting the colored folks the way that they are. Long as they keep doing what they're doing, I'm going to buy me a Nissan. I promise you.
I love it. Thank you so much, Nisa. We appreciate that. I love learning about that because I did not know that before.
Right.
Coming up, Malaysia Pargo speaks on her ex-husband. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Scene 103, take one.
I thought we'd be on the same page about this, and we're not.
How do I know the way I'm going to respond to it?
I want you to get the vaccine because I want you to be safe.
What if you end up in the hospital? That's what I'm scared of.
If you was to die, man, that would literally kill me, man.
I hug you.
Yes. If it made you feel that way, bro, I'll probably do. I love you too.
This one's for the real ballers and shot callers, the sisterhood of women in tech. They're discovering cures, building apps, and programming the blockchain. They're CEOs, worldwide hustlers who can make it rain. They're tearing down the old boys club and seeing big gains. Because when women in tech come together, you know they make that change.
Freedom. It's at the core of who we are. The freedom to live without fear, to jog where we please, to wear a hoodie. The freedom to breathe. Before we celebrate the freedom most Americans have, we must fight for the freedom all Americans deserve. Because all lives can't matter until Black lives matter.
Welcome back to the show. All right, y'all, this is a wild story. Penn State professor Timis Matsoukas was already facing charges of having intercourse with animals and cruelty to animals. But new videos have surfaced of him using a tree branch and a lollipop up his butt. He claims the act helped him blow off steam. I mean, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing here? What does it sound about white? And what should his sentence be? I mean, isn't prison gonna be fun? Maddie, tree branches up his booty and lollipops.
I don't even know what to say. Al.
Tree branches of lollipops for the sugar rush, maybe, but a tree branch? Well, I mean, what are we doing? Like, get a dildo or something. This is gross. It's disgusting. Put him in prison. In fact, put him underneath the prison. People who do stuff like this scare me because if you do that to dogs and animals and yourself, you might do it to other people.
Might.
Right?
Have you guys ever gotten like a little splinter in like your finger or your foot? You're like, oh shit, and it is hard to get out, and it hurts.
And it
like
hurts.
A little sliver of wood in your finger. Imagine your anal cavity.
What?
Is the bark still on the branches for the ridge effect?
He might like the raise, right? Oh God.
Is it the lean? You think he drinking lean?
I mean, would you need some kind of pain, like a numbing agent or something? Like, how you just go pick a tree branch? And how do you decide what is a tree branch sexy to him? Are there some tree branches that are more appealing than others? Like, I have questions. We have some comments here. Poetic Justice KPD said, "Why do they want to have sex with animals?" And Princess said, "What type of sick, twisted ish is this?" Aaron W said, "I'd rather him do stuff like this to himself than on a poor animal." So yeah, there's that.
Now remember, they caught him. They caught him. Video had caught him in the park. So I guess they catch him in the park, walking down the park, sees a tree that he's attracted to, rip off a branch, and start ramming it up his butt.
He also bust off on a picnic table too.
What?
I know it's hard in these dating streets, but is it this hard?
It ain't that hard, girl.
It's a. Never mind. I was gonna go back to the Drake thing, but never mind. I want to move on. Reality star Malaysia Pargo sat down with Carlos King to reveal a story about her ex-husband, athlete Gennaro Pargo, not coming home. Take a look.
When did things start to change for you when you were married to him?
When I started realizing that, like, oh, wait a minute, this is not acceptable behavior. Your husband is not supposed to go to the club and tell you that the fire marshals locked him in the club, and that's why he didn't come home last night.
All right, what are your thoughts? And what's the dumbest lie an ex has ever told you, Al?
The dumbest lie. I have to think about that one. I'm gonna pass that to T.S. Madison on the dumbest lie. Why I think about it.
Okay, I just want to say this, all right? And this is gonna, I just need to get this out. I feel so heavy for women because women don't really get the opportunity to meet the man that I meet. I usually meet that type of man because it's the uncensored, unfiltered, the raw, dirty, low down, trashy man. I meet that man. And then this is why I don't have any hope for relationship and love and stuff like that, because I meet this man all the time. And then they go and they marry these women and they put on this whole facade. It's like, girl, my heart always goes out for women because they don't get the opportunity to really see that unfiltered man in their first meeting. Now, you tell this lie that the fire marshal locked you in, and when they locked you in here, you couldn't come home. Like, there's so much that I want to say in the way that I would say it on my show, but my heart goes out for women so much because they always meet this guy and they think that he's like this stand-up dude and all this. And I'm not saying that all men are bad. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that women usually meet a filtered version of men when they first meet them. And then they marry that version. And then the version that I know pops out on them and they still trying to make stuff work.
But do they really? Let's talk about it. Do you really think she do you really think she didn't see the signs? No, because she talked about that, it happened for a while and she looked to God to give her the answer. I think a lot of women, when it comes to rich men like this, making tons of money, physically fit, attractive, show that picture again. I think that you just overlook a lot of stuff. You know the signs. You've seen the signs before. But if that package comes looking like this with the bank account like that, you decide otherwise. Plus, he's a professional athlete in the United States of America. Not meaning it's right. I'm not supporting it at all. But how many times do we have to read the stories about how these men live their lives? Is it something in you that you feel like that, once they meet you, they're going to change?
Yes.
Can I jump in here as someone that has been in this position as well? And Maddie, I want to thank you for saying that because I get so frustrated with men always blaming their bad behavior on a woman. And you just said, basically, you see this man, you're validating what she's saying. And I just want men to stop thinking that because someone's job, that there's supposed to be a different set. I'm not saying you're saying this, Al, but a lot of people say this. Well, he's an athlete or he's good looking or he's rich. What did you expect? Have you not seen Malaysia Pargo? One of the most beautiful women and kind and sweet. She's a good woman. You don't think she has tons of successful men that are after her? This woman has had people after her for a long time. And I just think it's sad. And yeah, we may see signs and we may not. But does that make it right what he's doing? Like, you marry this woman, you chose to make vows in front of your God, in front of everyone, to love this woman and to be faithful, and then to make it this nonsense lie. As far as the lie, I had a guy tell me that he was arrested and he was in jail, and then that he came home on a Saturday, right? Knowing damn well your guys get arrested on Friday night, you ain't getting out for a little bit. And this was back like in the early 2000s. Like, he really tried to lie. I called all the jails already. I found out that he wasn't really there. And really, he was just out fucking around. Like, just keep it a buck. A lot of times you'll be surprised at how many women would like just treat you and look at you a lot different. Instead of breaking people's hearts and just hurting them when it comes to expectations. That is heartbreaking what this woman is going through. And Maddie, you said you were holding back and you would say it the way you would say it on your show. What would you say? You got the last 20 seconds to do it.
Well, I would say that I just wish that men would just be the unfiltered. Give a woman the opportunity to make the decision. Don't trick her into believing that you're like this good stand-up guy and you're this wholesome person. Like, give the woman the opportunity. The same shit y'all tell me or the same shit y'all bring to me, you know, be this way so that you can give a woman the opportunity to just, you know, either mess with you or not, to be with you or not. I hate when they do that.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you. Fun week, you guys. We had a good time. I want to thank my co-hosts Al Reynolds and T.S. Madison for joining me tonight. Thanks for watching us on YouTube. Stay tuned for Street Flavor. And also, Maddie will be with us on Monday. President's Day. Yes,
On Monday?
We're having back for Monday. Absolutely.
All right. Woo, woo, woo.
Y'all can flirt some more. I'm going to wait on this date. Y'all have a great
love you,
weekend.
Al.
See, I'm happy again.